maybe something like that, and something like this. I want these characters to move to the other corner and this one to this. Let's reduce this to half of that speed, let's say 300. As you can see here, these guys collide with each other and they never solve the situation. It looks like politicians discussing. Now they have less options to move through, but even with that conditions, they achieve the final goal. In this video, we are going to solve one of the most common problems when working with multiple AIs in Unreal Engine. Agents colliding and getting stuck with each other while navigating the level. We're going to build a simple test environment where multiple NPCs move around the map. At first, you will see how they collide and block each other. Exactly the kind of situations that can ruin a gameplay experience. Then we will implement agent avoidance in Unreal Engine so these characters can move naturally, smoothly, and avoiding each other while navigating the world. If you're building games with AI characters, this is a tool you definitely want to have under your sleeve. This is the Game Creator Accelerator channel and I am Tony Munoz. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell so you are notified as soon as the next episode is released to continue expanding your AI knowledge. And because building a path in the gaming industry is not just about coding, I want to invite you to my free training at woolen.com/free training, where I share the methodology and strategies to build a successful career in the gaming industry. Everything in that training comes from my 13 years of industry experience and from studying what successful independent developers are doing today and what the rest are failing to do. Now, let's get started. So we're going to start by creating a new level to test these conditions, these new features. So go to New Level, Basic, and Create. Let's expand a little bit of space. And now let's go to the same tree we've been doing for the last episodes, which is going to Modeling, Create, and select CubeGrid. For the CubeGrid, I want to take something that will be around 1,000 and 2,000. So something around, I would say here. And this is the perfect. And E to extrude the surface. This is the first step. The second is to add colliders to this surface. So let's go to Selection, pick the CubeGrid tool that we just added, find the static mesh, open it, and in the details, look for Collision, Complexity, and instead of Simple and Complex, pick Use Complex Collision as Simple, and then Apply. Now we have the collision. Save and close. Now let's add a cooled asset to create this level. Let's go to Fab, and in the search, go for Quixel Rock and enter. And of course, you can also filter by price, only the ones that are free. Let's move down until we find something that we like. Here you can pick whatever rock you want, but I also have one in my mind that was pre-selected, which is called Beach Rock. This is the one I wish to use today. So add it to my project. Now that I have it, let's go to the static mesh, and I wish to drag it inside the scene. Put the snap at this moment to 100 and the scale to 1. And I want to scale this a little bit. So let's go to something like this, I would say, and a little bit more like this. Excellent. And now I'm going to add one of my characters just to have a reference of the size. So let's go to the characters, drag one of my characters here. I want this rock to cover the entire character. So let's place it someplace like here. And now we can center and see if the entire character is covered. Not yet. So let's expand a little bit more in terms of this scale. Maybe something like that and something like this. Yeah, much better. And now let's reposition so it can be in a way sticking to the floor. Remove the snap for a second and move it like here. That is awesome. Now I want to take this same rock and repeat it a couple of times. So first I'm going to put the snap again and keeping the Alt down and dragging, I can create another rock and another rock. Let's put this space between them too. Now let me pick the last two and with Alt down again, let's move it to the left. In fact, they look all fantastic, but I'm going to scale them just a little bit more like this. Awesome. Now I want to take these two and move them just a little bit closer. Let me see from the top, maybe too close. And now I'm going to place them, let's say, in a position like this one. I think they're looking pretty cool. Now I'm going to select all of them and repeat them and move in, let's say, to a position like this one. Awesome. I think that the scene is looking pretty cool. Now let's save our new level. Let's call this one level Avoidance and save. And I'm going to add the characters that will start colliding with each other. So I'm going to take this one as the first one. Let's move it here and then rotate him, let's say 90 degrees. So let's pick this one, 90 degrees. And okay, now it's looking in the right direction. And I want to add some others. So Alt and drag, and again Alt and drag. The same thing will be to the other side. So I can select all these four, Alt and drag them to the other side. And here I can rotate them and place them. Say a place like here, they should look very good. The next step is to give them a place, a target to move. I want these characters to move to the other corner and this one to this. Save this level. And let's go back to our previous level, name level nav query. Save all this. And let's select this ball that we've been using as a target. Back to our avoidance. And let's place the ball by pasting it. I don't know where is it. Oh, here it is. Now let's move it to a position like this one. Let's see if this is good. We'll move a little bit to the left. And now more to here. Excellent. Maybe a snap in 50. So you can move it a little bit and now down. And now let's repeat this with Alt, another, and finally another. Excellent. We have the targets for the guys that are coming from the left to the right. Now I'm going to take all these spheres and with Alt make a copy, place them on the other side. Let's see. I think this could be a great position. Pretty similar to the others. So now we have our entire level and the scene that we're going to use for this example. One small touch to add a material to the surface could be filter by material and go on the bottom. I think it's the pack bonus. Perfect. And here we have this grass. You can pick whatever grass you want. I'm going to drag this one here. Again, it's not perfect, but it is much better than just the default material. And now we have to define the targets for every one of these agents. So let's pick this one and filter by target. Click here and let's say that the target is this one. Now the next one, pick the target, will be this. The next character, pick the target, this one. And finally this one, pick the target here. Similar to the other side, pick the target here, this one, pick target here, this one, pick the target and this one. And finally this guy, pick the target here. And now, so they can define a path to move, we need to add the navigational map. So let's go to place actors, volumes, and filter by nav. And let's drag a Nav Mesh Bounds volume. Let's place it someplace like here. And now let's extend it. Say something like that and something like here. Hopefully we can move it just a little bit. See? Okay, yeah, I think that the map is very good at this moment. Before we continue, I want to let you know that this channel is part of a bigger journey called the Game Creator Accelerator Mentorship. This program is designed for people with limited time who want direct guidance to build a real path in the gaming industry. The goal is simple, a measurable transformation into a game creator. Not just watching tutorials or collecting certificates, but learning the right technical skills, building impactful games, and creating a presence so studios, publishers, recruiters, and players can see your work. Inside the program, you and I work together to build real games in Real Engine, solve real development challenges, and grow your online presence so your creations start opening doors. If you want to learn more about this approach, take my free training at woodland.com/free training. You will find the link in the top right corner of this screen and also in the description. Remember, your future in game development does not start someday. It starts the moment you decide to build it. Now, to watch the animation happen slowly, I'm going to change the speed of these characters to move. So let's go to your character, remove the filter, open the blueprint, and select the component of character movement. In the character movement, you have a section that is called the character movement walking and the max walk speed. Let's reduce this to half of that speed, let's say 300. Compile, save, and let's go back to our level. Now let's test this and see what will happen. Let me see another perspective like this one. It is very good. And click here. Look that our characters are trying to move to their goals. Some of them achieve the goal, but as you can see here, these guys collide with each other and they never solve the situation. It looks like politicians discussing of different parties. So they never find a way, a path to solve the goal. And this could be very annoying. Imagine that this happens in your video game. They always have to find a ways to go to their goal. And even if they're attacking you, you don't want them to be clustered around you to attack you. So this is the kind of things that we're going to fix right now very fast. And the way of solving that is using something called avoidance. Let's go back to our agent character. And again, in the character movement, look for a parameter called avoidance. You see at the top that we have use RBO avoidance. We are going to check this parameter. And then we're going to set up an avoidance consideration radius. At this moment is 0.5 meter, which is, I think, too short. So let's move this one to 2 meters, which is 2000 centimeters. Compile, save, and go back to our level. Now let's test this. Look that now they are taking a little bit more of time to take the path, to take a decision, but eventually they reach their final destination, their final goal. And it doesn't matter how complex this could be. Let's say that we're going to make things a little bit more clustered. So with Alt, I'm going to drag a new block here and see what happens. Now they have less options to move through, but even with that conditions, they achieve the final goal. And that's how you can implement agent avoidance in Real Engine so your AI characters stop colliding with each other and start moving naturally through your world. As you can see, a small improvement like this can make a huge difference in the behavior and believability of your NPCs, especially when you start populating your levels with multiple agents. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode where we are going to continue expanding your AI knowledge. And don't miss my next video training on how to hack the gaming industry. And until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep dreaming big. I'll see you soon, my fellow creators.